No, stay focused, Hugo. I won't let it get to me. Preparing himself, he heads towards the chest and opens it. Inside, scrambled together, are bunches of notebooks and small trinkets. Hugo continues to rummage through when he stumbles across an old newspaper article. Young man found dead by the lake. An unidentified young man was found on the morning of blank 3 days prior to his death, according to the police. Ruled as a suicide, police have claimed that the troubled youth drowned himself. This certainly is a tragic loss, an unfortunate event indeed, blank comments. No claim of his body has been made yet. Lewis. By the corner of Hugo's eyes, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the clutter. He reaches for it. A locket of brilliant gold shines unblemished, retaining a timeless luster. Inside it safeguards a picture of a young man with glasses, smiling brightly. This must be the locket he was talking about. It's so pretty. I'm surprised it still shines like this. And this picture. Did he put this here? No, it might have been Henry. But why would he store it away like this? What should I do? Let's take it and show it to Mortimer. That might get him to react. I should probably hold on to this for now. Take it to him, please. Lewis? A gentle but distant plea echoes in Hugo's heart. A forgotten ache of yearning and regret grips him deeply. Feelings not of his own start to rise like small ripples on a pond, wanting to be found again and remembered. Don't worry, I'll bring it to him. I'll make sure of it. Hugo is about to put everything back into the chest when he feels a wet and cold sensation crawling up his leg. What? Water! A pool of water relentlessly spreads across the floor, already seeping into the chest. Damn it, no! Suddenly, the lights shut off. A scream is heard, followed by a myriad of shouts. Hugo is about to call out to Noah, but stops at the sight of pale feet before him. Looming over him stands a tall and ominous figure. His face is shrouded in complete darkness, devoid of any human emotion. It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows it's far from it. No, this very thing is trying to imitate a human form, trying to be human. Hugo could only stare back. Paralyzed with fear, he's forced to watch the horror as it slowly creeps towards him. It's just like before. The sensation of someone staring at him from within. But this time, it's drawing nearer, inching ever so closely. The words to call out to Colby or Noah fail to reach out. Lodged in his throat, he struggles in pain. With his breathing shallow, he tries to force his body to move. And then it stops. Looking down on Hugo, filled with nothing but malice and contempt, it speaks. Don't get in my way. All of a sudden, the door to the bedroom slams shut and the entity disappears. The tension from his body finally releases its agonizing grip, and he gasps desperately for air. His vision blurs and his breathing is haggard. He staggers towards the door, yanks at the handle several times, but it's tightly jammed. Fuck. Noah! Colby! To his dismay, he's only greeted with silence at the other side of the door. Damn it! From a distance, he faintly hears the sounds of Colby's relentless barking as it gets further away from the house. Hugo rushes towards the window. He tries to pry it open, but just like the door, a heavy force prevents him from doing so. Like being underwater. His movements are slow and drawn out, as if he's being dragged down by that thing. Fuck this. Frantically looking around the room, he spots a nearby chair. Without a moment's hesitation, Hugo grabs the chair and starts to strike the window. Bit by bit, the window cracks get larger with each blow, splitting off smaller pieces. What the hell is this thing made of? Still trying to catch his breath, he musters all the strength he has left for a final blow. Damn you, just break already! Clearing out the remaining glass shards, Hugo peers his head out to see any railing he can grab hold of. However, he discovers instead that the wall adjacent is covered with ivy. Despite how heavy the rain has become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of the vines. Carefully, he climbs out the window, gripping it tightly, and making sure he doesn't lose his footing. Yet to his luck, the patch of vines he clutches starts to tear away from the wall. Out of desperation, he struggles to find his grip on another, but fails when his hands slip out of reach. Shit! Clamoring wildly, he loses his grip on the ivy and crash lands down onto a thicket of bushes. Air forced out of him, he heaves uncontrollably, trying to even out his breathing, but even that is laborious. An immense pain spreads not only across his back, but across his entire body. God, I'm getting too old for this. Although his body screams out in pain, he forces himself up. There's still time. I can do this. I have to do this. With staggering feet and haggard breathing, he makes his way to the place where it all started. To the lake, where this tragedy starts and ends. Ooh. Finally entering through the park, Hugo calls out to Colby and Noah. Colby! Noah! Where are you? He hears faintly the sounds of barking and echoes of people yelling in the distance. He rushes towards the echoes, guiding him through the downpour. With his heart racing and blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. Drawing Nina, he sees Nina giving chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she doesn't get too far as Noah stops her. Grandpa, stop! Grandpa! Let me go! My grandpa, he's... No, Nina, it's dangerous. You'll get hurt too. I don't care. I don't want to lose anyone else anymore. It's at that instant Hugo trudges against the water, pursuing in Nina's stead. Hugo! No, don't. Pleas fall deaf to his ears. Not even the whines and worried cries of his partner could make him turn back. Determined, he forges ahead. Nearing the deep end of the lake, he sees Henry Mortimer gazing directly at the abyss. He looks even more frail and disheveled than before. It's as if all the life he's lived up until this point has begun to fray, draining every ounce of himself, and surrendering it all to the lake. Before Henry can lean in, Hugo reaches out and tugs at his arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me. Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please come back to the shore with me. Motionless and unresponsive, he stares deeply into the water. The haze over his eyes is still obscure and persistent. There are so many things we can't afford to lose in our lives, and you're one of them. To Nina, you're all she has left. She needs you, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it. A slight jolt from Henry's arm, as if stirred by the memory of Nina. He slowly turns to face Hugo. Nina? However, just as cruel and violent as the storm, Henry jerks back, wrenching his arm away from Hugo's hold on him. No! All of this is my fault. If only I got to Louis sooner, then none of this would have happened. He was waiting for me, was patient with me. And yet, for all the things he's done, I chose my family over him. He's gone because I didn't pick him. I'm actually tearing up. Henry backs further away from the shoreline. Mr. Mortimer! His manic eyes never straying away from Hugo as he keeps his distance from him. Louis, I'm sorry. I was the one who dragged you into this. You deserved so much more. And I wished. Henry struggles over his words. He clasps tightly to his shirt, his throat dry and taut from all he has bottled up. From all those repressed and silent years of just waiting for this curse to finally take him. I wish I had gone with you that night, Lewis. Sir, even if you still covet that wish, it wouldn't resolve anything. Not for you or Lewis. I read what he wrote to you those years ago. He understood if you didn't want to come see him. But the thing is, Mr. Mortimer, Lewis never thought any less of you. He said so in his letters. His letters? For the longest time, I wanted to believe he hated me for that, resented me for that choice, or at least I thought it was easier for me to think that way. How long has it been since I talked about him? It's been too long, sir. But that's why. You don't have to shoulder all of that pain by yourself anymore. We can talk about it. About you and Lewis. All of it together. Hugo extends not only his hand to him, but a promise. A promise that Henry had yearned for so long. A way to forgive himself. He hesitates at first. What fool believes in a deserved forgiveness? Such a thing doesn't exist. And yet, despite everything, Hugo still reaches out to him, to a stranger. Maybe he can be forgiven. Just as he was about to reach out for Hugo, a hand slithers around Henry's instead. Its arms unnaturally contort around him, while its head perches on his shoulder. This thing, this Lewis, is no longer pretending to be human. With piercing, cold, green eyes, it stares directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing him, wishing nothing but despair. We can be saved. We can be forgiven. There is only one true way out of this. I will share with you the most happiest of endings. Before Hugo could reach out for Henry's hand, he disappears into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing the anguished cries and desperate pleas, Hugo dives after him into the abyss. Plunging into icy waters, Hugo feels shocks running rampant throughout his body, like spikes continuously piercing from his legs to the tips of his fingers. Fiercely and unyielding, his chest tightens and his heart races as he begins to kick his legs, hoping whichever way he goes, he'll find his way to Henry. Swimming deeper and deeper in, he sees faintly a figure slowly descending into the darkness. As he finally gets closer to Henry, long snake-like arms stretch across the void and grab Hugo's neck, violently squeezing all of the air out of him. He tries desperately to wrench its hands away, but with each struggle, Hugo's movements begin to weigh heavier and heavier. Lewis. Where are you, Lewis? It's looking for Lewis? Digging deep into his coat's pocket, he grasps tightly in his hand the locket that Henry kept and had long forgotten, holding it out as it shines ever so brightly in the dark. There you are. It releases its grip on Hugo and instead reaches for the locket. Taking this as his chance, he drops the chain and kicks with all of his might to grab Henry's arm. With his heart and body screaming in pain, he swims desperately to the surface. Almost there. I just have to... As the lights from the surface start to blur, Hugo makes one last attempt to reach for it. With his limbs worn out and his energy spent, this is all he can do. Before he loses his consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards them, getting closer and closer, and then everything fades to black. Drifting along with what feels like an endless sea, Hugo courses through wave after wave, not knowing where he's going or caring for that matter. All he knows is that he is very, very tired. How long has it been since he had a good night's rest? Ugh, it's been too long. Maybe I should take that rest now. I'd like that so much. I agree that you deserve it, but not here. I'm sorry for startling you. I just wanted to see you one last time before I go. Lewis? You've done so much for me and Henry. I can't thank you enough. No worries. I want to thank you too for watching over me. And also, I want to apologize for my remarks from before. I really thought I had things figured out once I found you, but you know how that turned out for me. It's alright, really. After all this time, I didn't think anyone could hear me. Especially Henry. Lewis. I was worried about him for a long time. He always wanted to keep me away from his personal struggles, to keep me safe from them, but I was too stubborn for my own good. Honestly, I don't regret it. Any of it. Even if I can no longer reach out to Henry, fate weaved its thread back to you, our tangent, connecting us once more to this very moment. And for that, I am forever grateful to you, Hugo. You're welcome, Lewis. From a far-off distance, Hugo hears a voice crying out to him, beckoning for him to return. Well, they're waiting for you. I guess they really are, huh? Take care always, Hugo. You too, Lewis. With his eyes closed and his senses still returning, he feels the constant tugs and licks of a certain bloodhound, whining as he tries to wake up his partner. Hugo! He also hears another familiar voice, too annoyingly close for comfort. Eyes shut right open, he jerks up. Confused, Hugo looks around before he coughs up the remaining water in his lungs. Are you all right? Noah starts to pat his back while Colby continues to whine over Hugo. What happened? Where's Mr. Mortimer? He's safe, and so is Nina. They're both okay. The police and the ambulance should be arriving soon. Thank goodness. Isn't there more you have to say to me? Instead of, thank goodness, I swear you don't listen to a damn word I say. I'm sorry, Noah. Exhausted, he lets out a sigh. He then continues to pat Hugo's back aggressively when someone approaches them. Detective Laurent? Oh, Nina. There's someone I want you to meet. Behind her stands an elderly man. Frail in stature, he timidly looks to the side as he ponders to himself. Although his youth has long faded, his eyes are what catches Hugo's attention. They're no longer a piercing and vicious green. Only eyes, just like Nina's. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective. I never got the chance to say goodbye to him. I always thought about it every day. What if Lewis lived on in this world? What if he stayed a little longer with me? It's because of that constant mindset that I dragged everyone down. And it kept hurting. Not only me, but Nina especially. I was the one that kept hurting her. The one to blame for all of this. But you, someone that I've never met, still went out of your way to save me. Not knowing my burdens or my faults. Thank you. Hugo reaches out to Henry and smiles brightly at him. It's my pleasure, sir. But before he lets go, Henry tugs at Hugo's hands one last time. I hope that someday you too will overcome it. The next day. Well, good morning, Hugo. You're bright and early. Morning. With much fervor and haste, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad, although by closer inspection it looks like he's going to combust at any minute. Are you writing up the report? Without looking up, Hugo responds back. Yeah, for the most part. You still need to write yours, too. I will. But since I haven't had breakfast yet, and I don't like eating by myself... Let me guess. 2 is better than 1? Bingo! Wow, Hugo, you're really catching on. I'm so proud of you. Oh, shut it, will you? I swear, if only I hadn't fallen off from that goddamn window, maybe my report would have been shorter. Before Noah could even begin to cut the bacon, he pauses at the mention of Hugo's report. Oh yeah, by the way, mind telling me what happened to the Mortimer's window? I broke it. Well, that's obvious to me. What I don't understand is, why is it broken? Do you know how much it costs to repair a window like that? I know, it was really dumb of me. I'm sorry. Besides, I told Mr. Mortimer about it before we left. Honestly, I was expecting an earful from him. And also the bill. And, surprisingly enough, he said it was okay. Lucky us, right? So what? You just called it a day after all of that? Thank you so much, Mr. Mortimer. You broke it, you pay for it. Would you just chill? Of course I'll pay for it. But each time I keep insisting, he just shrugs it off. Says that we already went through a lot for them, so this is nothing in comparison. You know what? He's right. After all we went through, we deserve at least a nap. But before he could even walk away, he stops and sees a familiar person walking towards the storefront, carrying something with her. Good morning, you two. Just barely a foot through the door, a certain bloodhound stirs up from his resting spot and makes his way towards Nina, tail uncontrollably wagging. Ah, good morning to you too, Colby. Nina scratches behind one of Colby's ears, making his right foot unconsciously move on its own, scratching an invisible but desirable spot for him. Good morning, Miss Nina. Morning. What brings you here this time around? Is everything okay with your grandfather? Yeah, he's doing pretty well, actually. Even better than before. We talked so much last night, I hardly slept at all. But honestly, it's been a while since I last spoke to him so freely like that. I hardly felt tired at all. That's wonderful to hear. Ah, but there is something else I wanted to ask the both of you for. To put it bluntly, I need your help. If you two aren't busy, I would like some company eating these. Inside, a clear plastic bag or a stack of 2 boxes placed on top of each other. She opens the box on top and reveals a colorful array of neatly decorated donuts, all lined up perfectly. Not scramped. No cramped or squished places. A work of art in Hugo's eyes. Wow, so pretty. Donuts. They look so delicious. We're more than happy to eat these with you, Nina. There he goes again with his donuts. But yes, please, join us, Miss Nina. We were about to have our breakfast too. Weren't we, Kuya? Always so brazen in front of others. You do make it exceptionally easy on me. You both have such great chemistry with one another. On second thought, I'm way too tired for this. I'm gonna have to apologize in advance for this, Nina. But truthfully, I'm running on last night's coffee, and I'm about to pass out any minute now. No worries. I honestly think a little break time sounds like what we all need right now. Thanks. Hugo puts down his pen and proceeds to head for the couch. Colby follows after him. Would you like to join us, Miss Nina? I would love to. I guess we save these for later then? Yes, please do. Now, come on, it's nap time. Noah sighs heavily before setting the food down on his desk. He then gestures Nina towards the sofa, in which she happily takes his offer and joins them. They're taking a group nap. Oh, I'm getting old. I mean, you are old. Shut it. This is really nice. Oh, good boy, Colby. Come here. Nina quietly coos at him and begins to scratch at the back of Colby's ears once more. Hugo leans a little closer to Noah, his voice above a whisper, but close enough for Noah to only hear him. You know, I'm glad you came along yesterday. Oh, what's this? Are you getting chummy with me now? Call it chummy or whatever, but I really mean it. If you hadn't saved us back there... Look, I told you before. I'll be there whenever you get yourself into reckless shit. Besides, didn't you say this was nap time? Get some rest. You deserved it. You too. A calming silence fills the room as they bask under the morning glow. No big parties or celebrations. Just each other's company and sharing this small reward. A small and warm comfort. Good end. Case closed. Oh my god. That was so good. That was so good. Oh my god. The amount of times I had to stop the camera because I was about to burst into tears is quite high. That was a really good story. I am definitely going to go back and see if I can get some more endings. I believe there's 4 endings and 1 epilogue, which we just saw. So, yeah, should be able to get the other endings. Oh, this is new. Hugo, already too tuckered out from the remaining assorted mess he left behind for himself, lazily sheds off his coat and shoes while Colby heads straight towards his bed. Making his way through unloaded boxes and cramped spaces one by one, Hugo strips down his outside clothes and switches to a regular shirt and sweatpants he found laying around. He plops down onto the couch with his head laid back and his eyes closed as he lets out a heavy sigh, releasing all the tension left in his body. Another day done and gone, right, Colby? Beside him, he hears faintly the rhythmic, delayed breaths of his large companion, who is already falling deeper into sleep. I wish I could fall asleep quickly like you, buddy. He gently pats Colby's head. Good night, Colby. Thanks for today. Hugo does one final stretch before he repositions himself to lie down on the couch, tugging at the blanket by his feet and wrapping it around him. His body begins to relax as his breathing falls into a similar cadence, finally allowing the warmth to gather and hug him closely, all snug and safe from the draft by his window. As he begins to slowly drift further and further off to slumber, he feels something. A slight chill grazing just above the base of his neck, never touching but distinctly present all the same. Although his senses are too dull and lax to properly focus on this sensation, He does, however, huddle closer into the blanket, hoping the chill will go away. Suddenly, he hears the front door to his flat shut so sharply, so harshly, it's as if someone or something had rushed in with enough force that he felt the room had shaken a little. Now, Hugo is wide awake. He tries to get up and face this intruder head on, but stops to realize one terrifying thing. He can't move at all. The warmth and comfort from the blanket he felt moments ago ceases to be. His own body locked in a deep slumber, leaving behind his very consciousness to be fully awake, to be deathly afraid of this overwhelming presence. He struggles to move the muscles in his face, trying desperately to call out to his partner to get his attention. Colby? But despite his efforts in uttering his dear companion's name, he's met with no response. In fact, he can't hear or feel Colby anywhere near him. Just the raging and erratic tempo of his heart drumming in his ears as he lies there defenseless, vulnerable, all at the mercy of this thing. And then he hears it. The sound of feet dragging across the wooden floorboards. Dragging closer and closer towards him. No, not again. He wants to run. Run far, far away from here. Run till he feels the fiery tempest within him burn his lungs, leaving him scorched and choking on ash. Anywhere but here. He shuts his eyes tightly and begins to steady his uneven breathing, hoping that whatever this nightmare is, he can wake from it. He has to. However, everything comes to a halt when he suddenly feels that same chill once more, but this time lingering all over his back, persistently hovering all over him. He knows it's here, standing near him. It's unbearable. His breath hitches as he feels the intense prickling feeling, a hand hovering so closely above his head he could feel it. He wants to cower, to hide forever away, but he can't. This frightening thing has been following him, stalking him, haunting him for years. It won't rest until he gives in. His own curse. All of a sudden his phone rings. Like a spell has been lifted off of him, he can move again. Hugo's eyes dart straight to the direction where the presence should be, hoping to chance a peek, just a glance at the thing that haunts him. But there stood no one. Only the moon's shine reflected from the window's shades, piercing through the shadow. His eyes shot once again to where Colby should be, and he found his bloodhound to be there, alert by the sudden ringing of his phone, and also at Hugo, who looks more disheveled and winded out. He takes a deep breath, steadying as hard as he takes his phone into his hands and answers. Hugo, I'm sorry to call you so late at night. I forgot to ask you about the festival that's coming up in a few weeks. I was wondering if you would like to come with me. I know you said you don't really care for outdoor stuff, but I promise you it's gonna be fun. Hugo? Are you there? Yeah. Sorry, Noah, I'm here. I guess that's a no, right? No, I mean no to your, no. Sorry. I'm a mess. What I meant to say was yes. I would like to go with you to the festival. Oh, wow, I'm a bit surprised, but happy nonetheless. Well, I don't want to keep you from your hard-earned rest, so I'm gonna end the call. Wait, Noah. Hugo, are you all right? Can you stay a little longer on the line with me? We can talk about anything. I just, need the company right now. Of course, Hugo. I can stay on the line with you. Thank you, Noah. You know what I was thinking about? A dangerous pastime, for sure. I was thinking maybe we should just move in together. And now you're back to your brazen self. Wonderful. What? Doesn't it sound like a perfect plan? I can cook, Colby loves me, and I'm good looking. See, a perfect package all in one. You really don't know when to quit, huh? Nope, not at all. I can be quite stubborn, remember? Without a doubt, the most stubborn man ever. There was a momentary silence between them before the pair fell into a fit of laughter, filling the room with this warm and bright feeling. Hugo melts back into the warmth of his blanket, letting the heat pool around him once more, surrounding him, protecting him, to remind him that he's here with people who love and accept him all the same. A reminder, a comfort in the darkest night. True end in the dead of night. To be continued. Thank you for playing. And that was the epilogue to the good ending of Stillwater. Okay, so I suspect here is going to be the second ending I get, which is rejecting the case. Hugo casts his face downward to stare directly at the ground in front of him, unable to look at Nina. The burden, the solitude, the madness, Hugo knows all of it too intimately. He suffers the same conflicts that weigh heavily on her mind, and yet in spite of this, it's too much for him. Like walking along a tightrope with the ground void and unclear, vast and empty and dark. So very, very dark. No, I can still do it. We can still do this. Before he can respond, a distant voice so charming, so terribly commanding, binds him to the spot. It's already too late for them, you know. No, not here. A dull but distinct pulsating sound, so rhythmic in its tune, starts its maddening melody. From the top of his crown down to the base of his skull, he feels it, all present and daunting. Just let go. Let me help you. No, I can do it if you would just let me. Snake-like hands wrap around his head so closely, squeezing ever so tightly that he can't help but try to shut his eyes from the pain. Such a kind person you are, Hugo. Hugo tries to ground himself. He tries to remind himself to breathe. A sweet and beloved friend. To remember there are other people that care for him. The joy and warmth of their company. I wish you could have done the same for me. To remember that he's here and present, that he's useless. Hugo? Hey, what's wrong? Tugging at Hugo's coat, Noah tries to catch his attention but fails as he notices something amiss. Hugo? There's a despondent look on Hugo's face, his eyes distinctly shrouded by a deep haze as if lost in them. He won't budge. No matter how many times Noah tries to tug or shake him, he still will not respond. But for Hugo, he can hear everything. Like a paralysis he can't wake from, his body sits there motionless and detached from everything. Desperate and concerned, Noah turns to Nina and ushers in a sincere apology. I'm sorry, Miss Nina, but I don't think we can help you at the moment. If you would just come back a little bit later, then we can... No, it's fine. There won't be a next time. Hugo winces at her cold and blunt remark. No, wait, Miss Mortimer, please. Nina stands up abruptly from her seat. She wipes away the tears quickly from her reddened face with the sleeves of her coat and looks down. Once more, her tense and cold front returns to the forefront, already trying to forget and move on. Without so much as a word, she slightly bows her head towards them and walks out of the office, not once looking back. Bad end, pulling strings. Ooh, what's that? Oh, that's so cool. Okay. That is definitely really cool. Okay, so I think this is another point where we can get another ending. Obviously, last time we did not go to where the creepy, terrifying painting beckoned. But this time we will. Yep, Lady of Shalott. There, mounted by the fireplace, is a painting of a beautiful woman floating on water. Her pale skin is incandescent, brilliantly prominent against the contrast to the dark and murky waters that keep her bound to the canvas. Hugo stares intensely at the picture. An emphatic sorrow swells within him, disarming his very senses and forcing him to inch closer, surrendering himself to the sweet song. Poor thing, how lonely you must feel. You're a lot like him, like Henry. As Hugo approaches closer and closer to the painting, and his mind screaming to run, he sees it. He can finally see beyond the facade the lady portrays for what the painting truly is. But don't worry, I can take away that sadness. A deformed creature, a mermaid, floats above the surface. The voice whispers. Large, hollow eyes stare back deeply into his eyes. Her skin is melting, bleeding heavily, this black ichor, as it gushes out from the canvas. Some of it starts to hit not only the floor, but Hugo as well. The black viscous tar clings persistently onto him, unrelentless as they continue to pile up. And then he feels it. What drew him initially to this thing. A deep sense of longing rushes through him, snuffing out what little control he had left, finally embracing this nature to come home. Take my hand. Without hesitation, Hugo reaches out his hand while his body leans in closer to the mermaid. She grabs and pulls him in. Not once looking back, he dives and follows after her, returning to nothing. Oh, there's the second bad ending. Oh, okay. Okay, so I think we have another choice here, which is to just leave the locket. I'm not sure we'll be able to save the grandfather if we do, though, so I think that's probably where that ending leads. But let's see. I think it's best to put it back for now. Hugo hears a distant and faint cry call out to him, pleading him to take the locket with him. Louis? Hugo is about to put everything back into the chest when he feels a wet and cold sensation crawling up his leg. What? Water? I've had enough. Louis is waiting for me. He's waiting for me to come home. Before Hugo could reach out for Henry's hand, he disappears into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing the anguished cries and desperate pleas, Hugo dives after him into the abyss. With each struggle, Hugo's movements began to weigh heavier and heavier, water filling into his lungs as his vision starts to blur. The cold numbness spreads. Tired and motionless, he watches on as the abyss draws near, swallowing him, embracing him. Let's share this happy ending together. He feels nothing. His body weightless and floating for who knows how long. It's cold. So very, very cold. How long has it been since he felt this? This empty feeling of just not being here or anywhere. It's comforting and nostalgic. Maybe, just maybe, This isn't so bad after all. I think this is for the best. Oh no, it's far, far from over, Hugo. After all, you said so yourself. Seeing the things you do comes with a price, right? And oh, what a hefty price has been paid for your stupid little blunder. So get up, Hugo. We are far from having a happy ending. Hugo! Hugo's eyes shot right open, his vision disoriented and a blur. As he tries to focus on Noah's voice, a violent tide bursts within him, and he coughs out the remaining water in his lungs. He can feel Noah's hands rub against his back, anchoring him and checking to see if he is all right. But deep down, there's something far more concerning to worry about at this moment. Where's Mr. Mortimer? I'm sorry, Hugo. I tried going back into the water after I fetched you, but the paramedics stopped me. They told me it was too cold and dangerous to head back in. No. It can't be. I'm so sorry, Hugo. No. Please, God, no. He couldn't hear the rest of it. His body trembled as his hand clasped tightly together in a fervent prayer, wishing for a miracle to happen. To have Mr. Mortimer return to them, finally safe from harm. But for this silent wish, this small and glaringly impossible wish, no one would answer. There was no kindness in this sunrise. Only the gut-wrenching wails of a woman by the shore pleading to any god who can save her grandfather. But no matter how many would try to search through the water, they wouldn't be able to find him, for there was no one left to save anymore. Just a washed-up, forgotten tale of a man and his mermaid. As Hugo tried to stifle his cries and soothe the lump lodged deeply in his throat, he hears it. A laugh, a cruel, heartless laugh, echoes from across the lake, mocking him, cursing him. A harrowing and merciless victory for this curse. A curse. It was a curse after all. Bad end, A Mermaid's Tale. Okay, and I think that is all of the endings of Stillwater, everyone. Oh my god. That was amazing. I don't think I've enjoyed a visual novel quite that much in quite some time. That was so good, and I am absolutely gobsmacked that it's free. It looks like the devs say that there could be a sequel if there is enough funding. So if you want to see a sequel to Stillwater, definitely go ahead and donate to the devs. It looks like this was originally published in 2021, which was quite some time ago. But it is absolutely amazing. I have to go chase down this artist because let me tell you, I absolutely adore the artwork. I love the artwork. And the story is really good. At some points, I feel like the dialogue is a little bit stilted, a little bit too many adverbs or adjectives used in one sentence, but that's really trying to find an issue with this game. And that's really the only criticism I have. I loved playing this, and I'm gonna have to go look up if this studio has done anything else since, because wow. Oh my gosh, that had me in tears. That had me in absolute tears. Gosh. Okay, well, thank you for your time, guys. As always, the link to this is down below in the description if you want to play it for yourself. Thanks to Studio Clump for publishing something that made me bawl like a baby after I'm recovering from COVID. How dare you? But I enjoyed every minute of it. So, if you want to see me play more visual novels like Stillwater, please leave a like on the video. And if you would like to see me play some other sort of game, please feel free to leave whatever you would recommend in the comments. it'll help me build whatever sort of video schedule I have in the future. Right now, I'm still trying to build up a buffer after COVID, so I will be posting a little bit less frequently while I build that up. But yeah, thanks again for your time, guys, and I hope you have a great night. Bye.